Hi, I'm Barry Sahajian, and today we're going to be talking about diatonic enclosures. For those of you who are not familiar with enclosures, I'll briefly describe what they are, and then we'll dive right into some lines you can learn to play. An enclosure includes a target tone, which would be one of the notes in the arpeggio, chord tones, and approach notes. They target the chord tones, as well as create the tension when it resolves. This whole process is called tension and resolve. One of the characteristics of the approach notes is they target the chord tone from above and below. A half step from below and a diatonic approach from above. Now the diatonic approach, depending on the scale you're using, could either be a half step or a whole step. And you can reverse it to make things even more confusing. You can put the diatonic approach from below and the chromatic approach from above. What I mean by reversing is when you start from the half step below and you go up to the whole step above, which is the diatonic approach, and then you land on the root. Reversing it means start on the diatonic approach from above, which is a whole step, and go to the half step below and then the root. Right now I want to get some examples going so we can play this and you can see this with notation and your own playing to really start to grasp this. So I'm going to be working on the major 7, 2, 5, 1 major 7, just a major 7 because I want to isolate one measure at a time because you can get more focus on it and learn to improvise on that, and then you can put it in the 2, 5, 1 progression later. That's the objective here. So here is the line. A little faster. Now what am I doing? Now there's an enclosure in there and I'll show you how I approached it. First of all, you must understand you should learn on a target note on a strong beat. In this case it's going to wind up landing on beat 3, the root, the strong beat, beat 3. It works like this. So first I play 2 scale tones. Now I put my enclosure in on 2 and 3. So it sounds like this all together, and you can hear it resolving to that C. Half step below, diatonic approach from above, and then the root. Now I finished the measure up by adding a 3, 5, and a major 7, and the whole thing sounds like this. So now we have the second measure. We're going to play that separate, look at it, and then we'll put them both together after I talk about it and explain what's going on in the second measure. Second measure. Now where is the enclosure? First I'm playing the major 7. Then I play a diatonic approach from above, which happens to be coincidentally a half step. Then, because everything's turned upside down, the next note is going to be sort of a diatonic approach to the major 7, as opposed to this type of enclosure. Let's put both measures together. This is example 2. On example 2, we're going to do a couple of things different. First of all, we're going to play in another key. We're going to play in the key of G, but I want it up an octave higher so it's a little bit easier to hear. So let's take a closer look at this one. Starts out by playing 2 scale tones, and that would be a G to an F sharp, 1 to a major 7. Then we put in our enclosure, which starts with a diatonic approach from above and a chromatic approach from below, leading to the root. And then I put in a 3, 5, and a 7. Sounds like this so far. And that gives us one full measure. On the second measure we start out with another enclosure, and this would start with a chromatic approach from above, which would be the G, and then a diatonic approach from below, which would be the E, targeting the F sharp, which is the major 7th. On the next part, we play the 5th to the 6th to the 5th, back to the 3rd. Put them both together. Put the two measures together. That concludes this video. I hope you got something out of it. I intended this video to have simple steps to understand enclosures so we could carry on, because enclosures, as you might imagine, can get quite involved, but they are quite simple in the beginning, and for me it was a revelation when I first learned them, because it opened up a new world to improvise, and that's where I started. I'm going to be adding to it as we go along, and I ask you might subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of all the videos yet to come so you don't miss the new ones coming out. Like and comment, and till next time, keep playing and have a nice day.